So Mike just asked me, do I even care what the headline is before I introduce him? And to be quite honest, no. But here's today's not so critical update.
Thanks, Peter. Today's not so critical update is actually about cars being bricked via the radio, which I thought it was funny because it reminded me of like IoT devices, except it's really not even that sophisticated. Basically, what it comes down to is a radio station across their HD channel transmitted essentially cover art that would show up on people's radio head units. The cover art, this image, was sent without a file extension, which caused these Mazdas from between 2014 and 2017 to brick the radios, requiring replacement of the connectivity master unit that's going to cost them about $1,500. And I just
what a fantastic oversight from the people that coded the infotainment system, because this is like error handling 101, right? Something doesn't work. What do you do? I know what I would do. I would stop functioning. Peter says a sentence. Peter writes me a sentence and doesn't sign it off with a punctuation mark, and I just freeze. And I don't move. That's
just
it.
Quit my
Find
job.
a new John.
Move to a new house.
Nothing. I don't exist. No food, nothing. It just stops. Everything freezes.
Yeah.
Like, oh my God.
You're joking, John, but that's happened to me in real life before. Someone has said something and it's so out there that I'm just like...
You're frozen.
Yeah, the infotainment didn't know how to handle it.
Yeah.
That is so funny.
Yeah.
I wonder, so the whatever system it is that takes in, or I guess module or whatever you want to call it, that takes in the images, it could really probably be safe to be like, you could probably just check what the file is. Even if it's not an extension, you can be like, maybe it's a JPEG.
Yeah, you're right.
Because like, look, right?
It's a rookie error. I've done exactly, but I've made exactly that issue, that bug before. When I'd been coding for a year or two at the beginning. Happens.
It's basically an SQL injection attack.
Kind of.
It's an SQL injection attack on an FM radio, basically.
Which happens to be in a car. Which, in my first job when I was coding for an international airline, and I made a similar mistake that bricked the airplanes. That's the kind of mistake that happens.
Wait, what?
Are you serious?
No, of course I'm not serious.
Oh. Because I'd be like, who would put Peter in charge of plane code? No, I'm sorry. Was that kidding? Joking.
That was kind of my point, though. Nobody would put someone in charge who's just been coding for a couple of years charge of something like this.
It's kind of crazy. This is, I don't know if this could be dangerous, but what else is shoddy coding in there? Right?
Well, there's a story. Oh, there's a story
in the cars
from NASA, and I don't remember the details. I'm not going to let that stop me. But basically, I think it was a shuttle. They sent it up. It had two arms to do things in space, and they accidentally or via oversight installed the left-hand code on both arms.
Amazing.
Yeah, I read it in a book. I'm sure it's true.
My
of course.
My favorite bug from the aerospace world is when I think it was one of the Mars missions that was meant to was being taken off from a rocket. And because there was an international team working on it, they supplied some figures for the calculations that were being made. No. And the US people thought it was in feet and inches, and it was actually supplied in metric. And
that's actually crazy.
The rocket blew up.
Awesome.
Yeah.
Because the military in the United States uses the metric system. Obviously, because it's a superior system, it's absurd that anyone would use anything other than the metric system. But I did not know about that. Yeah,
I was in the military.
You were in
it, and I'm trying to think back if we ever did.
Oh, is it true?
But don't you guys talk? Don't you guys talk in? Didn't you talk in meters?
I don't. Oh yeah, I mean, I guess so. Well, I don't know. I don't remember that specifically, but maybe sure. Okay.
Yeah.
Well, maybe I'm wrong. Maybe it's a mix.
Maybe it's off the coast.
Peter's goal in life is to insult every type of person. It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter who or what you are. He is the most equal person on earth because he will hate on everyone.
That is a highly accurate impression of military
personnel.
Action.
Wow.
Personnel. Yeah.
Amazing. I love that you keep digging too. You're like, this grave isn't deep enough. I gotta get in there.
Anyway, I think it's a very good point, John. What other code is dodgy in these Mazdas?
Yeah.
Some of it's going to be security holes, isn't it?
For sure. Isn't this sort of like Michael's saying? This is a fatal error denial of service. Like this is really
it is.
It really
denial
is.
Of service. Yeah.
And it's not only because denial of service attacks usually back in the day they were very, very disruptive because these systems didn't know how to handle something like a denial of service attack where you just spammed it. But now we've become so good at handling them that even if you bring a server down, it'll come right back up. You might lose whatever it was working on at that exact moment, but that's okay. It'll recover. There's no recovery here.
Have you ever heard of Chaos Monkey?
Yeah, no? Yeah. Okay, that's old. Yeah. That's an old. Isn't that also a DDoS framework? I don't remember.
No. It's something else actually, but it's similar. Netflix, when they were developing their infrastructure, they deliberately introduced something called a Chaos Monkey, which would add random faults of different kinds into their network as a kind of fault tolerance test.
Yeah.
It would do things like overload random servers or disconnect things that just pull out, like effectively pull out hard drives, or just shut down machines with no warning, disconnect, and you could turn it up and down, and it was
what a fun system to have.
Yeah, it's so cool
to be in control of the Chaos Monkey is so I'm feeling real shit today. Let's just turn it up to 10. See how they handle this one.
But you know what? That's a good strategy for dealing with those because you want to see what happens when things go really, really wrong.
How does your SRE and DevOps teams, how does your infrastructure team handle something like this?
I hope they deployed the Chaos Monkey without telling anyone.
Well,
that's the way to do it,
wouldn't it?
Yeah, that's the way. But that's the way to do it. Yeah.
This story though, like having done some debugging, I think that is pretty interesting to me. That how did they figure this out? So it affected anybody who was tuned to this specific NPR station at a certain time that was driving this group of cars, and that's what they were able to track it back to. That bricked all these units. I think that was just what are the chances that would happen, and then that you'd figure it out? Like a lot of dots were connected to understand.
Well, I imagine we could probably do some soft math, which I'm not going to do, but figure out how many cars there are on the road in the US, figure out how many cars Mazda sold.
Is this an interview? Oh,
how many tennis balls are there in city did this happen on? Or no, this was a nationwide radio station, right?
I like the way you're thinking, John. You're hired.
Yeah. Thanks. Yeah. Finally.
God. Local radio KUOW 94.9. I don't see what city it was in.
Oh, okay.
Oh, Seattle area.
Oh, yeah. Seattle's populated. Yeah. So
Mazda's 2014 to 2017.
Right.
On this morning, listening to this particular radio station.
Yeah. So if you can figure out how many cars there are in Seattle, and if you can figure out how many Mazdas were sold in America, you could probably do some percentage work to
But if you're a Mazda dealer and people start showing up with this problem, how are you going to make that connection?
And those are probably franchised, right? So those are just private businesses that are selling Mazda cars. They're just licensed to sell these. They're like, what do you say? Like, hey, call headquarters. You know what I mean? Like,
is it a recall? Is it what? Yeah, that's crazy.
Right. Yeah.
I love this story.
Very fun. I imagine they'll do an over-the-air update, right?
If they can reach the cars, aren't they bricked?
Wouldn't that be?
Oh, that's right. You said the unit has to be replaced. So all of the ones that weren't listening to that radio station at the time, what do? Do they just not worry?
It's an FM high def signal. They're going to reprogram their radios via FM radio. That's
I imagine just like Samsung. I imagine just like Samsung. They probably have some capability to just send an update without the user's knowledge or consent, or
I don't know. That would be even crazier, I think. Use
I was making that TV reference.
People's car radios.
Wait, okay, that's not beyond the realm of impossible. We've seen what you can already do with radio signals. It's literally, it feels like it's the equivalent of smoke signals. You know what I mean? Like you're smoke signaling cars to brake. Like it's how old this is.
Yeah. Well,
the technology.
Good job, Mazda.